Yes, I think I am.
The truth, take one. State your name, please.
Diego from Chancho TV.
And why did you contact us to schedule this interview?
I just think it's time people knew the truth. So, where to begin? Well, there's a few defining moments in a man's life: his first kiss, his first job, finding love, marrying, having a child, his first PlayStation, getting his career in order. And one of those defining moments that every man goes through is owning up to your mistakes. During this Christmas holiday season, I had something that was just eating away at me, didn't let me enjoy the holidays to the fullest. And it's just time to tell the truth. I haven't been fully honest with you guys. I just kept hearing a voice that was saying, just tell them, the fans deserve to know the truth. The fans deserve to know the truth. And it's something that I've been carrying on me for over a year now. And guys, I think it's just the right time to finally do so. So get your snacks, everybody, because we're going to take a trip to 1 year ago during last year's Christmas break. Ashley and I were out visiting family back home in the 956 Ka. I was troqueando. I was representing like I had never done it before. Now, one thing you got to understand about where me and Ashley are from, the valley, as we call it, is that the food is very delicious, but let's face it, it's not exactly the healthiest options that there are out there. You got tacos, gorditas, tamales, everything, all that Mexican food. There's a lot of people down there that look exactly like Ashley Trevino from TikTok, aka Binky Barnes. And of course, you have the nation's highest Edgar population with their lonjas hanging out of their jeans that they bought from Buckle. So just a couple of days of eating valley food can mess you up, especially if you're not used to it anymore with all the salsa and all that Mexican, spice. So I think what happened last Christmas break is that maybe I was indulging a little bit too hard into the Mexican food, going a little bit too hard. People were telling me to partake, so I partook. I was just going hard, guys, inhaling any Mexican food that I could get my hands on. Anything within a 2-mile radius of my mouth was getting devoured. Now, let's go ahead and fast forward to the day of the incident, to one particular morning. Later that day, I was supposed to have a friends miss with my friends from high school. We were going to have a good time, have some food, maybe play some games. It was all in a good, jolly old time. I was really, really looking forward to something like this because it gave me a chance to, have a good time with some friends. So keep that in mind, guys, because by now my stomach is already going through it. It's already getting destroyed by the food that I had been eating that week. So mind you, it probably was not a good idea to, on top of that, tackle on some coffee in the morning. And for those of y'all who know, sometimes when you drink coffee, it makes you drop a significant load on the can later on. Well, for me, it's not sometimes that it can happen. It's every single time that I have coffee, significant load on the can. So you can only imagine the anguish and the torture that my stomach was experiencing when it was asking for water, maybe some Pepto-Bismol, and instead of that, some more coffee got thrown into the mix. It was just like when Professor Utonium added Chemical X into the concoction and everything exploded. It was the exact same thing. I could have sworn my stomach was screaming, "No!" as the coffee ran down my esophagus. So the time comes for all of us to leave. We were staying over at Ashley's mom's. The plan was for me to drop off Ashley and our son Micah over at Ashley's brother's house. I mean, what could possibly ruin this day? It was a Friendsmas day. The birds were chirping. There was beautiful weather out. Nothing could ruin it. Well, I hate to inform you that by now my stomach had already begun making noises, squelching, the cries for help, the popping, the squirching. Now guys, by this moment I had already begun the clenching because I knew that I needed to go, but Ashley's brother's house is only a 30-minute drive away. So I manned up, I clenched one last time, and I made the decision that I could make it all the way. Ashley even gave me the option. If you need to go to the restroom, go ahead and do it now. I took that like a challenge, and I decided to take off instead of taking her olive branch. So not even 6 minutes into the drive, and that's when I realized, oh no. But my pride did not allow me to tell Ashley to turn back around, and I had made a decision already that I was going to go at Ashley's brother's house, and I was sticking to that decision. The good news is that I knew that just 5 minutes away, there was a Dollar General down the road that I could, take a load off. So that's when I told Ashley, look, I don't mean to rush you, but I'm gonna rush you. We need to get to the Dollar General and we need to get there now. So I already know Ashley's mad because she had just told me that I could go at her mom's house and I turned her down. So now she's having to rush and taking me all the way to Dollar General. I could feel her staring into my soul, but to be honest, I was more concerned about making a mess in the car and totaling it. Well, by the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior, I was able to make it to the Dollar General without having an accident. And we made it, and I'm like, yes, I could already hear SpongeBob singing Sweet Victory. I go inside, I'm blocking as I go. I run to the restroom without being too obvious about it. But wouldn't you know it, of course, the restroom is locked. Now I go to the cashier and I'm like, hey, I need a key. I need to go to the restroom, please. Keep in mind, the cashier is a woman. So I get the key and I'm thinking, oh yes, I've made it. But guess what? I get inside the restroom and there's no toilet paper. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make another decision here. Do I go ask the cashier woman for toilet paper? No, I can't do that. There's no way I'm gonna let a woman know that I need to poop in there. If I asked her for the toilet paper, she was gonna figure it out. That's just embarrassing. I couldn't take the embarrassment. So I pretend like I'm done, I give her the key back, and I run back to the car. There's only a 25-minute drive to go after all, so I think I can make it. And 25 minutes is nothing. That's like one episode of The Office. So I get back to the car and I urgently tell Ashley, look, I didn't go. I couldn't make it. And she's like, what? Why not? I'm like, you don't understand. There was no toilet paper. The door was locked. There was a woman in there. I can't do it. Let's just get out of here and we got to get to your brother's as soon as possible. And for the next few minutes of the drive, Ashley's just laughing at me the entire time because of what I just went through at Dollar General. She's laughing at my agony, and time has never, ever, ever gone slower. With each rotation of the tire, my hope for not having an accident in the restroom since 2003 keeps fading and fading away. I'm fighting for my life out here. And just then, out of the horizon, at first I thought it was a mirage, but there's a gas station called Flying J's in the corner. I turn my eyes to the street, and where does my help come from? My help comes from the gas station Flying J's. But the weird thing is, guys, because I had already been clenching the entire time, I felt like the need to go had already gone away, I'm no longer doing these. I feel like I'm good. I feel like the need has passed and I can safely make it to Ashley's brother's house. So then, as we're getting closer to the Flying J's, Ashley says, do you want me to stop here and you can go to the restroom? And once again, I tell her I can hold it. It's only 15 minutes to go. Guys, I kid you not. As soon as we passed the gas station, I got attacked like I had never gotten attacked before. I was squeezing with all of my might, just trying to hold it back. I was feeling like Spider-Man out there in Spider-Man 2 when he was holding the train back. Just fighting and fighting for my life. But this was it, guys. As we drove away from that Flying J's, so did my hope for not going in my pants. I knew that it was all over. It was too late. I was too prideful. I held it in when I should have let it out. It can't be stopped. This is something that's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen in the car that we had just bought 2 months ago. It was gonna happen in broad daylight in front of my family. I was too scared to even alleviate pressure by letting one rip, because I felt that if I let one rip, instead of having a gas leak, I was gonna have a volcanic eruption. It's crazy how this experience that I was going through led me to let go of all of my civilized inhibitions. I was no longer thinking like a civilized engineer. I started thinking caveman mode. I started thinking primal mode. So then, out of the corner of my eye on the side of the street, I see a couple bushes. I see some grass. I see some fields. I see plains. And I was like, okay, I can probably just have Ashley stop on the side of the road and I go take care of business in the grass. But I just kept having this mental image. You're in the valley. What if your mom is driving by and she sees something that she can never unsee? Just the mental image that I would have given them by being in that squat position would have been too much for them to bear. In what can only be described as a miracle, I was able to muster up some strength and Google the nearest gas station. I didn't even know where the gas station was. I didn't know if it was going to be clean or if it was going to be busy or if there was roach infestations or if it was going to be closed, but I knew I had to hold on to hope. 5 minutes later, we made it to the gas station. I jump out the car. I'm holding in as much as I can. This is insane. I ran inside the restroom, just just kind of burst the door open, kind of like the girl from White Chicks when she burst into the restroom. No one was going to get in my way. I feel sorry for any soul that was there on that day because I just ran right past them. I think I kicked over a child or two, but it didn't matter to me. I had a mission and I had to make it. Divine intervention once again led to the men's restroom being empty because there was only one restroom. This isn't the type of restroom with stalls. It was a single restroom. Was it clean? No, it was absolutely disgusting. Talking poop on the walls, poop on the floor, poop anywhere except the toilet. It was a mess in there, but I didn't care. I was still in primal mode. I was still in caveman mode. All I was thinking was poop out, not in pant. Not even a minute later after I had sat on my throne, somebody tried to open the door. So if I had gotten there just 1 minute later, I wouldn't have made it, and my pants would have been destroyed, along with my vehicle. After what I had done in there, they probably should have shut the gas station down for good. There's no way that it was up to OSHA standards after what I did in there. To this day, every single time that we pass that gas station, I get brought back to that moment. I get brought back to what I went through. Well, that wraps up my story, guys. I think it's time that I told you guys what happened that day, that I came clean to you guys, because you deserve to know the truth about what happens in my personal life. Maybe you didn't ask for it, but now you know. And to this day, that record remains. No accidents in my pants since 2003, and I wear that with pride. Thank you if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up for me finally coming clean to the channel, for me finally telling the truth. And if you guys have ever related to something like this happening to you, if you guys have ever been through something like this yourself, if you have a similar story, go ahead and drop it down below in the comments and we can maybe talk about it. And that's all I have for you guys today.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for contacting us for this interview. I hope that you got everything off of your chest today, and yeah, feel free to contact us for the next interview.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys treated me really well here.